The SKS Cultural Tour 2024 took us up the Kagoro Hill. Our vision is to explore southern Kaduna's incredible landscape and rich cultural heritage. In this first edition, we decided to make Kagoro our first stop. The objective is to hike up the rocks, capture the scenery, experience its hurdles, and document the history that dwells therein. Under the guidance of our tour guide, Mr. Abraham Gidi, we navigated the tough intricacies of climbing up the mountain. To think that the civilization lives up there on the plateau is incredible. This tour was birthed from a burning desire to tell our own stories, ourselves, through our own eyes, unearthing the underexploited potential that we possess as a people, the Southern Kaduna people. The hike took us more than 3 hours to ascend to the top. On our way up, we encountered some settlements. We met some of the mountain dwellers going down with sweet honey, of which we were told was a daily routine for them. At the very top, we were made welcome by a spring that formed a waterfall. Despite the limitations we faced, the tour proved to be an exciting and productive endeavor. We got a lecture on the Kagoro Nation, who they are as a people, and the topography of the land they occupy. For man must be understood within the context of the environment where he exists.
Lala, mimi sio now.
Okay, nani sio nchini chenanjo na ya Kagoro na hausa kuma anachemsha hapo.
This is the first one. The first episode is exploring tourist sites, which is the reason why we have moved from the around waterboard to this side. It took us like 2 hours, right? Yeah. To get here. More than 2 hours to get here. I need to know stories about it. It's not just snapping by the water side. We need to know for how long this has been. And this is already at the top of the mountain. So we need to also know about the topography of this place. These are knowledge that ordinarily we will not get just hiking. We want to create visibility for our region, promote our cultural values. We are all from different tribes within the Southern Kaduna region. We even have people who are not from Southern Kaduna. And that's the reason why we are here. You'll be giving us some knowledge. And also, if we have questions, and we also have some questions that we'll be asking him, which will be taken on record as it's no longer restricted to only Southern Kaduna people. It is open to everybody and the world at large.
Thank you, sir.
The names are Abraham, David, Gidi. I will say once more, welcome to Kagoro. Please, who is not from Kagoro here? No, I'm not talking about the name. Please, bring down your hand. The ladies, welcome to your place of heritage.
Thank you.
I can see your husband on top of the hill.
No.
Why? Okay. This place that we are in is called Sokbusa. Sokbusa. One of the places the people of Gworok settled on way back in time as they were migrating to find their own settlement. This place as it is now, it wasn't like this. It was like a thick forest with many wild animals way back in time, and the Kagoro man was not a farmer way back then. They thrived on hunting and gathering. If you look at this place, this rock will kind of block us. But behind here, there are caves where they settled way back in time. The remnants are still there. Who are the Gworok people? As we all know, we belong to the Niger-Congo family, which is made up of people like most of the Nigerian ethnic groups. They belong under that group. Those that did maybe sociology will understand what I'm saying, or anthropology and all those things. The Kagoro man said he migrated from Bauchi, but when you trace his history, they said they moved from the Middle East, which is synonymous with most of the ethnic groups within the sub-Saharan area, including other areas like the Eastern Africa towards the southern area. When you go into your history, it tallies with what the Bible says, that the life started from the east, the Garden of Eden. So when they left Bauchi, they settled at a place called Asop. You know Asop Hall, the place they call Hawankibo. The Kagoro man settled there, and you can hear of Nimbia. Nimbia is a Kagoro word, Nimbio. So the Kagoro man, after settling at Nimbio, he came through the hill. Some of them settled around this Chokbusa. Some went around, there's a place they call Tinta. Around the other area, the other facing Gidanwaya area, there's a place again called Tantan. They settled there, and there's a place called Nyaneban. Around those areas, the Kagoro man settled there on the hill. When they came in, they didn't go to where the present settlements are. When they were going down, some went through this face, some went through that face, finding where they call Tafan. You know Tafan? Gidanwaya is part of Tafan. They settled there, and some settled there. So who are the Kagoro people? Like all of us here, we are from the same family. They are an indigenous people. Now they are farmers. They keep animals, not like the cattle rearers. And one thing unique about the Kagoro man is he accepts every innovation that comes to him that can benefit him. That is why they accepted Christianity, and it has transformed them. But prior to now, the Kagoro people had their own traditional religion. We can hear of the Afan festival that we're talking about. It is as old as the Kagoro nation itself. Mind you, I'm deliberately using the word nation because each of us is an ethnic nationality. It is not when you bring people as a country that you call them a nation. Individually, we are nations. When you go to Europe, there are some countries that are not as big as Kagoro.
Yes.
But they are still a country. Hill, as I've told you, is a plateau. And you know, it's a plateau like here, you can farm here, but if you go down, you have a bedrock. So once it rains, it pours water. Some of these streams, when you go to Atakari area, the land, and this hill goes up to that Kawankibo area, there are rivers that flows down the hill through this face, and likewise through the other face. Most of the rivers are flowing from here. So here the water is all year round. But I observed something at the other front there, and I was not happy. I got to a place, I knew of a river, Chentong. They call it Chentong. That means river of Honeyco. That river or honey river, which one did there's honey and there's river?
River of Honey.
Yeah, but it is not no,
I'm just saying.
it is called Chentong. And that river was flowing very well. So I observed something. The people on the hill, they fell some of the trees that were around that area. And once you fell the trees, like a stream, like all these trees you see by the riverside, they help in sustaining it. The moment you start falling these trees, you are exposing it, and before you know it, especially at where it springs up. At the source. So I went there, that river was dry, and I was very, very, very sad about it. We need to plant trees if we want to sustain our environment. I wonder, when you get some, you farm, you fell the trees, cut them, farm. By the time you farm, when the yield starts going down, he leaves it without replanting trees, he moves on. As you can see, when they settled here, what they were doing is hunting and gathering, as I said. There were wild animals. But one thing with the Kagoro man that I want you to take note of, wherever he settles on top of the hill, he doesn't settle in the valley. He settles on top. It gives him a comparative advantage if you are coming to attack him, or if they are wild animals, they can see them and then defend themselves. Besides that, wherever they settle near the source of water. There's a stream coming down that side. there's this one that comes from here. On where we are standing, I said it's Chombosa. When we were coming, that place is called Kunkum. We have one Ungwa there, Ungwa Musamanga. We have Ungwa Musamanga. They are Atakar people that migrated and settled on top of the hill in the 50s. They are not the original settlers. Most of the people that are on top of the hill today, they are not the original settlers. They came up and settled here. What do you know about your people? Do you just come for Christmas, as some of our Kagoro people do? They only come for New Year. They say they are coming to the village. The Kagoro is not the village. I am saying this because thank God for what we are doing. You are trying to document your history. I may not give you what, there are some people that know more than what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, try and dig more. I have traversed the hill, the whole hill of Kagoro. From here, through Nyanegban, around the other face, through Utaria Mingai, through Utakshio, through the place they call Tangpan. I have gone there through Tabum. You can drop from Tabum and get to forest. I had the desire and the passion to know Kagoro. I said I cannot be a Kagoro person without knowing Kagoro. That was why I learned about this. And I took it. We started this 2006 with one of my uncles. He's late now, Ezekiel Lekache. Two of us. KDA did not sponsor us. The traditional council did not sponsor us. We sponsored ourselves. We did that because we wanted to know Kagoro. Now the point is, as I have said, you are seated here. There's something that you can do to a kind of solidify where you are. When I say solidify, to protect your land. What do you know about your land? Go and write it. Not just writing it. The language you speak, are you proud of it? It pains me sometimes when I hear somebody say, like Kagoro, are you Kagoro? Yes. Can you speak the language? I don't know that language. So I will not use the word a fool. But that doesn't speak well of you. Sometimes it is not your fault. It is our parents.
Okay. So I want to know, like for the Hamainu, during the olden days, they used their caves. That's where they built their barns and stored their food.
Yes.
So for the Kagoro, what were they using their caves for? That's one. Sorry? Yeah, the significance of the caves to the Kagoro people. Then the second is, we know that southern Kaduna in Nigeria have the highest number of deposited mineral resources in Nigeria, based on the research done by the Minister of Mineral Resources during Gworok dispensation. Are there identified mineral resources within this?
The significance of the caves.
One, the caves were settlements. They settled there, they had their barns there. They equally, when they started keeping animals, they kept the animals as well there. The caves were like fortresses. And I said, they used to build it on high ground. They go to the high ground. There are caves in Kagoro here. There's a cave I've seen around Agban area, around Nyaneba. That cave can comfortably accommodate over 200 people. Sit there and have a meeting. But when you go there, the entrance is not more than this. You will not even know that it is a cave. You will not know. Yes. At Nyaneba. Do you know Nyaneba?
Behind my father's house.
But do you know it? Okay. So yeah, it was like a fortress. It was where they keep their food, etc. Then one other thing that I learned of late is, I used to ask, where do the Kagoro people bury their people when they were living on the caves? I didn't realize it until when I took one lady. She was working on her PhD thesis, and we went hunting for such places. Now one of the guys that came, I didn't know I was always moving inside the graveyard. If they are burying somebody, they bring stones After laying the stones, after burying the person, they lay the stones. Lay the stone. Where you see a bigger stone, that's where the grave is. So if you are looking for graves, you may not find them. But when you look at the way they arrange the stones, like at Northern Sadia, there's a place I saw 2 barns. One barn, I don't know how they call it in town, because so that I don't offend my Java people. Okay, we call it a barn. That thing is not covered. It's not covered with grasses. But that thing, they say it has been there for over 100 years without that cover. Because people used to settle there. And one thing that I failed to tell us is, if a Kagoro man is settling here, if their houses are here, then they will go deep there. That's why they will go and hide their food. They build their barns and they keep their food there. They were very security conscious. From here, you see that big stone there? You can move in from here to that big stone inside a labyrinth of exits and entrances. So assuming you are working there, you are going there to attack them, definitely they will lay you inside and kill you, because you are not going there with light. So it was a fortress, it was a living place, and it was a home for them area.
Okay, so what's the height of this? No, like the water
from there.
From the top.
I have never measured it, but if you stand there and you look at that place is over 100 meters. Right from the top, if you stand from there, this slope where the water drops, right from the flat area it came, so it's over 100 meters. I have 2 questions.
When we came, I know there are some cultures and some waters that you don't just enter the water without the permission of the environment. And I realized the moment we came, some of us just went straight into the water. So does it mean that this water doesn't have particular culture, or it's not forbidden? Like anybody can just come at any time and enter the water?
Okay, she's trying to find out if there are restrictions. There are restricted areas that you can walk into. Like in Kagoro, I don't know whether you've observed, when you move into a place, there are some places, like close to La Besta, yes, you can see those big trees, and that area, that is called Pipi. That is a restricted area. Sometimes those areas house shrines. But if this location we are having a shrine, there may be a restriction. But in Kagoro, one peculiar thing about the Kagoro person is,
secondly,
it's accommodating.
Because I love the traditional part a lot. I want to know how the gado is being selected and how it's being buried in a Gworok land. I want to know if it's different.
Buried who?
Gado, Sia.
The
Sia. Yes, gado.
You see, let me open up a little bit. In Kagoro, we have 2 moieties. We have the enquiry, then we have the pasha. The enquiry, they are the custodians of traditions. The chief priest is from there. So like you see, if I were a member of, it's like a cult. If I were a member of that place, I will tell you that this is how they are doing it. Even if I am a member and you are not a member, I may not be allowed to tell you. We have a boy. We have the boy, we still do it. And we have the krusak. We have one thing about, we have grave and the footprint. We have even your settlement. It's a historic site. If you go to Amanga, you know this cactus. There's one thing that I like about Amanga. It is just about 2 kilometers away from here, but we are not going. You go here. When you go there, their houses are fenced with cactus. Their streets are with cactus. It's a beautiful place to behold. And one thing about the people on top of the hill is they are farmers. Besides being farmers, they keep honey. This beekeeping. They do it. You can see the volume, the amount of honey that they were taking.
So imagine if this place is made an economic place. What kind of development do you think it would attract? We have places like this, and many of us don't know anything about it. It's not about going there, but about knowing what is there. Now, there are people who will be attracted to the stories that we'll be telling. SKS is the first association or so to carry out something like this. Although we have experienced some challenges, because being the first, everybody is trying to understand. And somehow even people who have initiated it, because of questions that are being asked, you even get confused because it's a new idea. But being the first, we are believing that subsequent ones will be better, hoping that when funding comes, we can use this to raise funds for our association, bring development to Southern Kaduna, because this is episode 1.1 and location is Kagoro. The next location may not be Kagoro, the next location may be maybe Ataka.
This is our tour guide. Well done, sir.
We are live at SKS Cultural Tour 2024, episode 1, exploring Tory side. Watch out for our videos.
We outside here. And I was looking for a dialect. This is our sponsor, our uncle. This senior man is our doctor on ground.
Please come close.